Well, hi guys, here I am. It's time for Wisdom 28, the gift of all experiences. So essentially what this means is whatever experiences that we have in life, whether they're good or bad, they are a gift because they've given us an opportunity to learn a lesson that we can move on from, and hopefully we won't be making the same mistakes again if they were bad experiences. And if they were good experiences, they're a gift because we know that it's something that we should be looking at pursuing more. So, when I was a younger person, going through watching my parents go through a divorce and the years of turmoil that follow that, because that was the early days of divorce. It's a lot more common now, but in those days it wasn't. And, I was really angry for a really long time, and I was probably a very boring person to be around. But I was hanging on to a lot of stuff, and I was hanging on to a lot of resentment. And then I started getting out in the world, and I started travelling, and I started just seeing different experiences, different lives, while we weren't, by global standards, we weren't the worst of poverty. We weren't a wealthy family growing up, right? But then I saw people who were living with so much less and had such much bigger smiles on their faces. And I started to sort of rethink my experiences, my lives, and then I started to really look at everything as a gift. And I remember years later my dad apologised to me for all the pain that was caused while him and mum were sort of sorting it out, right? And I told my dad, you've got nothing to apologise for, because it's all been a gift, and it's been a gift for me to grow, right? I don't think I've been put on this earth to have an easy ride this life, right? And I decided that I was really cool about that. So when I have these hard times coming my way, I really try and embrace this philosophy that there's a gift in every experience if you choose to see that way. When we think about the people that we universally admire around the world, one of the people that I would say comes to mind immediately is Nelson Mandela. And he had a terrible experience, decades imprisoned, right? It was, how do you come out of that and become the loving, gentle, unifying person that he spent the rest of his life attempting to be, And he's magnificent, and we admire him. And when I see people sharing stories on social media of people that they really admire, they're often people who've gone through extremely bad situations, and they've come out and they've turned into these beautiful people, right? So the gift of all experience is about saying, good or bad, I value the experience and what it taught me, and now I'm going to move on as a better version of myself, versus looking at the bad experiences and allowing them to diminish us. And I know this isn't easy, and I know it's not easy, because some people experience terrible things in their lives, whether it's abuse of some form or another, whether you're a child or an adult. In marriage, it can be psychological, physical, mental, spiritual, sexual abuse. How do you come back from that? How do you become a more beautiful version of yourself when you've been through that? And I can't answer that question because I haven't experienced that. All I can say is that from my experience, no matter whether it was good or bad, I've really worked hard to find the answer of what was the gift within the message, even if it was a hard message to receive. I've been bullied. I was bullied at school. I've been bullied in work. And rather than diminishing myself and believing the bully, it made me stronger. It made me more determined. It made me more willing, more determined to be kind. I never wanted to be the person that they were. And I've had some people that have worked for me over the years. I remember one guy had a boss, and they had a terrible relationship, and then he was put on notice. He was on a warning, and then he was given to me as I was his boss, right? And he started playing the same games with me that he'd been playing before, and I just said, no, none of that shit, mate. None of that shit. You're a grown-up, be a grown-up. Let's move together. And we ended up building a really beautiful relationship, and, I think I helped him hopefully get back on track so he wasn't staying in that negative space, right? So the gift of all experience is, whether it's good, whether it's bad, there's a gift in it if you're willing to see it and embrace it as a gift. And I just want to encourage you, if you've gone through a really bad time and you're really struggling, this has got nothing to do with anybody else. This has got nothing to do with the people who have done something to you. It's got to do with your ability to take on board the lesson of the experience and then work out a way to move forward. And obviously some people need to go and get professional help. But for most of us, it's just about saying, am I going to stay in this space of anger, resentment, or any of the other negative emotions? Or am I going to say, okay, this is what this experience taught me, and sometimes just saying, I will never allow that to happen to me again, is a really good place to start. So there you go, Wisdom 28, the gift of all experiences. If you can see the gift, no matter what, if you can see the gift of learning for yourself, it will help you grow, hopefully, in the direction where you're going to be a more beautiful and positive person. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing worth doing, right? I think it is. You know, life's a magnificent thing if we embrace it on every level, but most of us don't get out of it without some harm along the way, right? So how do you deal with that harm? So there you go, Wisdom 28, the gift of all experiences. See you tomorrow.